Welcome to the Bourbon Experience. My name's Austin. Today I'm reviewing the 2023 George T. Stagg. Today's review is going to be the 2023 Buffalo Trace Antique Collection George T. Stagg. Now this comes from Buffalo Trace's Mash Bill 1, barrel proof, about 15 years old. And this year's release was 135. Or I should say last year's, this year's isn't out yet. Before I get into this, please like, comment, subscribe on the channel. Stick around to the end of this episode. I will be doing a giveaway of a sample of this, as well as another sample that you'll see here shortly. So make sure you stick around, make sure you get entered. Maybe you could win a BTAC sample, who knows? This is the third Buffalo Trace Antique Collection review that I have done on the channel. First being a sample of the 2023 Eagle Rare 17, and the second being the last 5 years of Thomas H. Handy with my buddy Billy, which I also did a giveaway on that one. So keeping in theme, I'll be doing a giveaway of this, and so just stick around to the end. So now I'll get into it. Let's see here. Very dark cherry grape, kind of typical Mash Bill 1 notes, but just much more, much darker and a more oak influence. There's almost a, I don't know if it's cardamom or what, but a chai tea spice kind of note in here. Like smells like a chai tea a little bit, along with dark fruit and oak and chocolate. Very nice. Very, very pleasant on the nose. All right, let's get into the taste. That's really good. So everything I said on the nose definitely is there on the palate. Then it has a really long, lingering Kentucky hug. This is also the first pour of the day, so I didn't have any warm-ups of like Eagle Rare or anything like that, which typically I would have done. But I'm kind of on a time crunch, so I just have to get into this. Yeah, everything I said on the nose is there. There is this like chai tea quality that just goes from front to back, just all the way through. And then what you expect from a George T. Stagg, the oak, the chocolate, the dark fruits. It's really, really good. Yeah, the more I drink it, the cherry, the chocolate comes through. But I really like chai tea, like a chai tea latte, something like that. And that note that goes all the way through is really pleasant for me. I've had the 2018 through this release, and I've done different blinds and tried them next to each other and various things. This so far, I believe, is my favorite George T. Stagg, followed closely by the 2020, and then maybe the 19, which I know a lot of people don't like the 19. I really prefer the 19. I know last year's, or 2022, was a lot of people's favorites because it was the highest proof, I think 137. There was something kind of weird about that one, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But there was something kind of weird about that for me wasn't my favorite. This one is just very unique. It's very good, but it's also very Buffalo Trace, Mash Bill 1, George T. Stagg wheelhouse. So I do think this, I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. I think this is my favorite George T. Stagg since going back to 2018. Try it one more time here. Yeah, I mean, everything I've already said. There's a nice barrel spice that lingers. Obviously, you're gonna get that with the George T. Stagg being barrel proof and pretty old. But there's like a little bit of a cinnamon kind of developing now, which is really nice. But I mean, if you're watching this, you know about George T. Stagg, so I don't have to beat a dead horse here. Ridiculous, fantastic, absolutely love it. But how does it compare to the other premium Mash Bill 1 barrel proof offering from Buffalo Trace, which of course is going to be E.H. Taylor barrel proof? This one is batch 12. I already did a review on it, so I'm not going to do a very deep dive. I'm just going to do a quick comparison to this and do a quick history of the two. Very quick. So George T. Stagg was a shoe salesman and a whiskey salesman, and he bought barrels from the OFC, which was owned by E.H. Taylor. Eventually, when E.H. Taylor had money issues, I believe George T. Stagg purchased the OFC distillery, keeping E.H. Taylor on though, so they were kind of partners. And I'm pretty sure they didn't really like each other. There's a lot of animosity there. And then eventually, George T. Stagg changed it to the Stagg distillery or Old Stagg distillery, whatever it was. And now, fast forward a whole bunch of years later, both brands fall under the Buffalo Trace lineup owned by Sazerac. So very quick history of that, but yeah. And then of course E.H. Taylor, he was a politician and was kind of acknowledged as being like the key guy behind the Bottled and Bond Act. So everything except for this expression and maybe some of the special one-offs is 100 proof, and that's primarily why it's all Bottled and Bond, kind of as an homage to Edmund Haynes Taylor. Ooh, okay, so the E.H. Taylor barrel proof. They have some similarities, which surprised me. I didn't really think that they'd be too close, but this is darker than I remember it being, which is good. But I do get an apple and like watermelon candy note that I got when I reviewed it, which is obviously absent from the George T. Stagg. Yeah, apple candy, or like a caramel apple sucker, watermelon like Jolly Rancher, caramel, maybe some funnel cake with caramel on it, some cinnamon, maybe cinnamon apple pie or something like that. Very, very good. What's the proof on this? Definitely drinks like a lower proof. 131.1, so very, very close in proof. But just, I believe these are like 7-8 years old, something like that. So all those darker notes and stuff that you get from the Stagg is obviously from the age, but yeah, and I really, really love this particular E.H. Taylor batch. Yeah, it's just, I mean, the George T. Stagg is just so much darker. You can't go wrong with either one. I believe the E.H. Taylor is a little bit more approachable than the Stagg. The Stagg is, I mean, that's what people love about it. It's a punch in the face. But they're both great. They're both barrel proof mash bill 1, and kind of there you have it. If you want to win a sample of this and the E.H. Taylor barrel proof batch 12, like this video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe. I have 246 subscribers right now. I'd really like to break 300 pretty soon. And comment what your favorite mash bill 1 is. So that can, I mean, whatever it may be, Eagle Rare products, Stagg products, E.H. Taylor products, Buffalo Trace, even if it's Ancient Age, I don't care. Tell me, like, comment, subscribe, and comment what your favorite mash bill 1 is. I'm gonna mix these two bad boys and have a George T. Taylor or Colonel Stagg. That's what we're gonna call this little mixture here. This is Colonel Stagg, so let's see what Colonel Stagg's all about before I head off. Ooh, that's really good. That's Drinks closer to the E.H. Taylor. Just brings a little bit of darkness to it. Oh, it actually added a kind of a weird note on the end. I would not suggest making Colonel Stagg. Enjoy them as they are. They're perfect by themselves. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave this. As always, the bourbon experience is all about good pours, great times with whoever you're with, listening to people enjoyed, so crack those balls. Cheers.